Sup guys, the aim of this vid really is to target people that have quit when the wilderness was removed back in 2007, and to tell them about things that are happening now or what have been updated since. In this clip that I'm showing here, I want to tell you about the Elite Seers Achievement Diary, which you might want to do. It makes bolt specials happen more often, so that obviously you can do more damage, and dragon bolt specials are going to hit more often for when you're PKing. So yeah, you might want to keep that in mind, and that you don't need anything special for it. Just do the diary and it's a permanent effect. When the wilderness was removed, Jagex added PvP worlds and bounty hunter worlds after they removed bounty hunter creator, and special drops from players were included, as well as PvP weapons, which I have a clip of. Is brawling gloves. There's one for many of the skills in the game, and obviously some don't have them, but you get bonus XP for wearing them in PvP areas and using them. Now, well, when the wilderness comes back, or if you're watching this when the wilderness is back, you'll get, I believe, 2 times XP for using them outside of the wilderness, sorry, in a safe area, but you'll get 4 times the XP if you use them inside the wilderness. So say for melee gloves, it might be a good idea to use them in the axe hut or near mage bank to get your optimum XP. Hey guys, in this part of the vid I want to show the chaotic weapons, primarily the chaotic maul because it's the most powerful. And in this clip I'll show you how much it really does destroy. It's like an AGS special but without the special, so yeah, as you can see, this is what it does pretty much all the time. It hits high 600s really. You wouldn't really want to fight one of these in the wilderness. Unfortunately they are allowed, or are going to be allowed in the wilderness. I don't agree with it, even though I'm not a PKer, but you know, that's life and that's Jagex. Another 2 things I would like to mention is with the release of the minigame Mobilizing Armies, there became a power, like a ability that you could imbue your rings, your Fremenic rings and some other rings like Dragonstone, Diamond and whatnot. I believe Dragonstone gives +6 to all, +5 or +6 to all attack bonuses, and the imbued Fremenic rings give exactly double what they would normally give, so a Berserker ring gives +8 strength instead of +4, which it used to, and so on and so forth. So you need 300 rank in Mobilizing Armies to get hold of these. It takes a couple days to do and a lot of time. It's boring, but I guess it's worth it. Also another thing, Jagex changed the price of climbing boots. You might have remembered that they were very, very cheap when you left. Now that you're back, they are 75,200 GP each on the Grand Exchange, or as they are now, they're about 75,000 GP. They alch for 40,000 or 45,000, sorry. This was one of Jagex's stupid changes that they regretted doing. You can still buy them from the guy up near the in the mountain house. He'll still sell you them for 75,000 GP, and they have exactly the same stats as normal climbing boots used to have, so just bear that in mind. Another addition of the game that you might all want to watch out for is a reward from the quest Temple at Senton, which isn't a hard quest, it's quite a long one but not hard, is the Cursed Prayers, which is shown here. The main ones you want to watch out for is Turmoil, which is considerably better than Piety. Soul Split, you gain 1 life point for every 5 damage dealt to your opponent, and they lose 1 prayer point for every 50 damage. So it's pretty much like Smite, but you heal from it as well. Wrath is like Redemption on the normal spellbook. You can leech special attack, which is quite useful when PKing. It's also a protect item curse, so you obviously can protect an item if you die. Deflect, melee, mage, range, and summoning, sorry. When you have these activated, any damage that would have been that's dealt to you is deflected back to the to your opponent, 10% of what would have been done. So say if you're fighting Jad and you protect yourself from one of Jad's attacks and it was supposed to hit you a 400, you'll see a deflection back of 40 life points on Jad, so it's quite useful. Yeah, so you might want to get those for PKN. These are the Dragon Claws, probably the most powerful special weapon to date. Can either be bought for a price of about 30 million coins or gotten from Tormented Demons, which are a boss that you can access after you complete the Wild Gothic Sleeps quest. Another edition of RuneScape since 2007. You probably all remember the Rune Defender. They recently upgraded to the Dragon Defender. You get it exactly the same way as you do the Rune Defender in the room with the Cyclopses up in the Warriors Guild, as I'm sure you're all familiar with. So yeah, if you haven't got a Dragon Defender already, you might want to go and get one, because they're actually easier than Rune to get, believe it or not. And this is the stats of it. Considerably better than Rune. Let's see if I have a Rune one in my bank to compare it with. I do. Compare it with Dragon Defender. As you can see, Dragon Defender has better stats in all of these white areas. So if you haven't got one of those already, go get one! The following weapon is probably one of Jagex's biggest mistakes. The Karasi sword hits high 700s with magic and generally fucks shit up, so be careful. Another two things I want to mention is the new way that you can cast spells, autocast. When you right click on a spell, it has an autocast feature here. I believe on the ancient spellbook the cast feature is the left click on Ice Barrage, so you have to right click to autocast, and when you autocast it will highlight it. Obviously I've got no runes, so it's not going to highlight it for me, and it will just autocast it. You don't need a staff anymore. Another bunch of horribly overpowered weapons is the PvP weapons, which could be gotten from PvP drops in PvP worlds and BH worlds. Along with the overloads and extreme potions, which overloads can be made with 96 Herblow that boost your stats to 125 for 5 minutes, and extremes do the same, but they act like super potions, so if you drink Saradom and Brews they go down permanently. With those they are quite brutal and they're dangerous anyway. Another item that you may want to look out for is the Staff of Light, which can be is a better mage staff than ancient. It's quite cheap, about the same price as a whip, couple of million, 3 million there. It can be obtained from the level 93 Slayer monster, the Ice Strike Worm. You need a fire cape to do these tasks. If you don't have a fire cape, or you haven't bought the ability from the Slayer Master to be able to slay them without a fire cape, you will not be able to do them. So be sure to have a fire cape before you try to get a task. Also guys, the last thing I want to remind you about is the anti-PJing rule, PKing. After you get a kill, pretty much you have 10 seconds to be able to put on melee prayer and whatnot before somebody else can attack you. So it's good in a way, but I mean it's a bit harder to jump on people when you're up at Mage Bank or whatever, because you have to wait a little bit longer. I mean it's obviously still possible, but it's a little bit more difficult. Also be careful with your IP addresses, guys. Lately there's been a massive increase in DDoS attacks from people that pretty much get your IP address and bombard your router with packets to disconnect your internet, and it's been known to happen to a lot of PKs recently to lose their stuff, and especially with free trade coming out and the wilderness where you get all your loot that you drop, it's gonna happen. So I mean the only advice I can give you is be really careful with your IP address. Don't go on Skype or TeamSpeak or anything with people that you don't trust.